In this episode, I want to break down the secret to feeling more positive and confident every day. Get pumped, because this is Tiny Leaps, Big Changes. Welcome to another episode of Tiny Leaps, Big Changes, where I share simple strategies you can use to get more out of your life. My name is Greg Clunas, and in this episode, I want to talk about positivity and confidence. I want to talk about the three secrets to feeling more positive and confident every single day. Now, you might be thinking, well, are there really secrets? Is there really anything you can do? Am I not just doomed to feel this way every single day? And I get it. I feel pretty not positive most days. I feel pretty not confident most days. But what I've noticed for myself and for people that I've spoken to, the days when you do feel great usually have a couple of things in common. And that's what I want to break down for you right now. But before that, if you haven't already, click or tap that subscribe button wherever you are tuning in right now. If it's on YouTube, thank you. If it's on the audio, thank you. But definitely click or tap the subscribe button. That is the best way to make sure you never miss a new episode ever again, and to just show that you want to support this channel and this show and the work that I'm doing to bring this stuff to you. So definitely click subscribe if you haven't already. Now, the number one thing you can do, the first thing you can do to improve your positivity and your confidence every single day is to embrace who you are. I know. It seems really obvious, but you'd be shocked how many people, including myself, don't really embrace who they actually are. We kind of all have this mask on for most of our lives. You know, we're one person with our spouse, we're one person with our family, we're one person at work, we're one person on the street. And all of these people don't really connect to each other because we're putting on a mask for each of these situations. Now, that's not to say that you should be the same person when you're at home by yourself versus the person out in public. That's not to say that you need to run around in your underwear and sing old Katy Perry songs when you're out in public. In fact, you probably shouldn't do that. My point is that these different versions of yourself create sort of this like splinter where there are parts of yourself that even if you're not aware of it, you're kind of embarrassed of. You know, you're kind of not really fully in love with. And you feel like, well, it's fine, I'm doing it when I'm just by myself, but that comes out in your day-to-day life if you're constantly asking that question of, is this weird? Is this something I should be worried about? Blah, blah, blah. If it's in the back of your mind that something you do might be considered weird or you might get judged or whatever it is, then one, it means you haven't embraced who you actually are. And two, that question, that constant question in the back of your head, even if you're not consciously doing it, is going to affect your ability to feel confident in yourself. It's going to affect your positivity throughout the day, and it's going to just come back up and affect the rest of your life. And so what you really need to try and do, and it's really tough, I don't want to make this seem like it's easy. It's really, really difficult. But what you need to try and do is love who you are from the bottom of your heart. And what I mean by that is, if you are a huge anime fan like I am, embrace it. Like, share it with people, bring it out and let people know that this is something you do, even if they might think it's weird. And that doesn't mean that you need to share every single thing you do. That's not what I'm arguing. The goal is just to get yourself used to this idea that it doesn't matter whether or not somebody else thinks something you do is weird, because they have their own stuff that they probably feel is weird. And if we all could just get to the point where whatever it is we're into, we are cool with it, we love it, and we're open about it, we'd feel less like there's an issue, we'd feel less lacking of confidence, and we'd question ourselves less on a day-to-day basis. So that's the biggest one. That's something that is so incredibly important that I wanted to make sure I spent a lot of time there. The second thing you want to do, number 2 on this list to helping you become more positive and more confident, is to improve yourself. Now, you might be thinking, that seems counterproductive to the last point, right? Well, no, it's not. See, the point of loving yourself does not mean you have to stay exactly where you are. One of the best ways to start to love yourself, to start to feel like you are worthy and like you matter, is to constantly be improving, to constantly be working towards something. Progress creates confidence. Progress allows you to look at yourself, and even if you don't hit your goal, feel like, you know what, I worked hard, I tried, I put in the effort. I'm not just a lazy sack of potatoes that sits on the couch all day. That does a lot for our ability to feel confident. So constantly improving yourself, constantly striving to be better, constantly pushing yourself forward and just allowing yourself to take those tiny leaps every day is one of the fastest ways that you can gain more confidence and be more positive. Because no matter what's going on, no matter whether or not someone thinks you're weird, no matter whether or not your life is stressful outside of this, you know that you are always making progress and that you are always moving forward, and that matters. That really, truly matters. So that's the first, or rather the second thing that you can do, is start to improve yourself and continue to improve yourself if it's something you already do. Never stop that, because it does matter and it does help you to improve and to be better and to feel more confident and more positive every single day. And the last point, the third piece of this puzzle, is to stop comparing yourself to others. I'm the biggest person that needs to take this advice, quite honestly. I compare myself to others in everything, and it's never gotten me anywhere. All it's ever done is make me feel bad. All it's ever done is cause me to feel sad about myself and doubt myself and just slowly chip away at my confidence and my positivity. And it's just not worth it. What did I gain by doing that? And so I want to turn that question on to you. What are you gaining by comparing yourself to others? There's really no benefit whatsoever, and it only leads to bad things. So if you can stop doing that, if you can just focus on your own results, if you can just focus on your own life, you can just focus on your own goals and the things you do on a day-to-day basis, you might start to find that it's easier to be positive. It's easier to be confident, because if your results are the only results that matter and you gain any results at all by following step 2, by improving every single day, well, then you're in a great place, right? Like that's all that matters, is your own results, and you're moving forward every day. So that's awesome. That's amazing. Of course you're going to be confident. You're going to be walking around with your shoulders back, your chin up, your head held high, best posture you've ever had in your life, because you were confident in your own abilities. You were confident in your own capabilities and your own goals and your own thoughts and your own feelings, and knowing that you are the only thing that matters. Your choices are the only thing that matters. It doesn't matter what anyone else is doing. It doesn't matter what anyone else has. It doesn't matter. It's all about you. And I know that sounds selfish, but the best way to be selfless is to first be selfish. Get yourself to a good place emotionally, financially, physically, whatever it is. Get yourself to a good place first, and then you'll have more to give to others. So be selfish in this case. Worry about yourself first. Stop comparing yourself to others. And if you combine that with the other 2 principles, the other 2 secrets, first, of embracing who you are, truly embracing yourself, the you that exists when you are alone in your house and Katy Perry is blasting. If you can embrace that person and bring them to the party, and then you can continue to improve yourself, maybe take some singing lessons because you're terrible, you'll get to this place where you really start to feel positive and confident and love yourself every single day. And so with that, I hope it helps. I hope you actually take action on this. These videos, this podcast, it's not about just lecturing you. My goal is to get you to take action, to push you forward enough, just a tiny bit enough. As I mentioned in my last episode, it's just about getting the boulder rolling. If I can get you to start, it'll become so much easier to keep going. So with that said, I've been Greg Clunas. Thank you so much for listening. Definitely click or tap subscribe if you haven't already, wherever you are consuming this. It's the best way to make sure that you never miss a new episode. If you're listening to the podcast and you want to see my pretty face on camera, head over to my YouTube, youtube.com/Greg Clunas. I'm starting to publish these solo episodes over there. Now, the interviews, those are still podcast exclusive, so stick around here as well. But head over to YouTube, youtube.com/Greg Clunas if you want to consume my face in these solo episodes. And if you're consuming this on YouTube, head over to the podcast. Do a quick search on iTunes. Do a quick search on Spotify. Wherever you listen to your shows, do a search there. I'm on it. And subscribe to the podcast, because every Thursday I drop a unique episode that is interviews, and it's only on the audio version. So you can't get that on YouTube. Head over to the show on audio if you want to consume those interviews. Again, I've been Greg Clunis. Thank you so much for listening. If you want to learn how to set better goals and to actually accomplish those goals, head over to gregclunis.com/goals, where I've got a free gift for you that'll allow you to take a step-by-step process to setting goals, to accomplishing goals, and to doing more of what you want. gregclunis.com/goals. And remember that all big changes come from the tiny leaps you take every day.